with awesome unity. We have the opportunity today to do a great class. I'm very excited to be here together with you. And I'm even joined by some of our social media friends who are watching from outside, Baruch Hashem. We apologize, we haven't had any of the edited classes up on the website for last few weeks before Pesach, but Baruch Hashem, we are here in the studio in Yerushalayim after a beautiful Pesach, and thank God we have everything up on our live feed. Please God, the Wi-Fi, everything's going good. You guys are hearing me, you let me know, and we're looking forward to make this a really inspiring class because we're beginning a new time period, which I'm happy to share with you guys in our beautiful studio here in Jerusalem. It's an amazing merit. We're sitting here with the ability to share Divrei Torah during the Sefirat HaOmer. It's a very special time. We go together upwards. It's not a time, God forbid, to waste. Every day is precious. Every day we count with a special blessing. And we have the opportunity to get ready for the special time of Shavuos, of Kabbalas Torah. I do apologize for anyone if any of the network is not working 100%. But Baruch Hashem, it's such a pleasure to go through Pesach in Jerusalem, in Israel, and to experience the wonderful energy of Passover 5781 or 2021. We really joined together in a beautiful way. A lot of the stuff we spoke about here in the classes, for me personally, was very applicable, and that's why I believe that we can really grow together. Now, what are we talking today? We're talking about awesome unity. The first week of Pesach that we mentioned already is the idea of chesed. It's a sphere, divine emanation. God is pouring on the world a lot of kindness. Hashem built the world with kindness. That's why we begin the sphere. It's the first attribute, divine attribute that we go together with Avram Avinu's light, and we build together, please God, chesed yiboneh olam. The whole world is built with kindness, and that's the kind of approach that we had hopefully during that first week of Sfira. It was a really inspiring time for me personally, being with a family, being on holiday. I hope everybody else experienced it that way. And the kindness can manifest in the way we hosted guests, can manifest how we treated the people around us, our close loved ones, and we obviously work on ourselves each day with a different attribute, divine element of kindness, and then kindness of judgment, and kindness of truth, of straightness, of tiferes. And then we go kindness of victory, kindness of hachna, of hod, of shining, of humility, and then we do the kindness of foundation, and then we worked on the kindness of kingship. So today in the Sfira, we already counted a new week. We did our first week, and it is the comment of energy of and the divine energy coming down right now of Gevurah. Gevurah represents judgment, but I'm going to call it awesomeness. Awesome. As I remember working in corporate America, Baruch Hashem, many times in the corporate world, we had a lot of young American people, and the way they got excited was awesome. Everything was awesome, and that's the kind of energy we want to build. Like there's a podcast, a new one from Charlie Harari that I've been listening to the last few weeks called Pursuit of Awesomeness. Yeah, and there's also the Life of Awesome from Shal Blinkoff. These beautiful podcasts, a lot of good energy from people who, thank God, who are successful out there, and they're sharing their light. And it's just a very positive energy to understand that having awareness of our Creator, of our purpose, of our tafkid, having the end in mind, making sure we have the goals and dreams and values as we've spoken about here. Is very much in the previous years we spoke this week of Sfira when we came back after Pesach. Actually was the first time we spoke, I believe, maybe just before Pesach, and then again we spoke after Pesach in this studio. And it's been a year of being in the studio. What a blessing to really share a lot of awesome content. And obviously the focus is on Emuna, but its also focus is on unity. And that will give us a good pre-game before we get to our Sunday night's class. We hope the Rav will be here, won't be away or delayed or anything. It will all work out on time. When we had beautiful classes, Shlomo Katz, Hazen Katz, thank God they were here. They were able to keep the class moving with our special translation, Rabbonim, Rav Dayan Elgad and Rav Cohen. Rav Dayan Elgad hopefully will be back this Sunday. And we hope that we have a special guest with Unity and Diversity. That's the name of the class. And his name is Jodeci Joseph. It's very exciting. First time I've had the pleasure to host him was was this Pesach, and I was doing my kindness, hosting my guests, bringing alive the divine emanations of this special time that we're in. And we had the opportunity with Joseph to really enter into a new realm of guests, because I don't believe we've had, other than myself and with Diana's English accent, but we haven't had any Englishmen. So we're going to have a guy from London. He's just, thank God, made it to the Holy Land. We'll let him do his intro, and we're excited to join together with Jodeci, someone who's able to inspire the world with a lot of motivation and growth, and his journey and mental health is something which he's become, thank God, a voice on. You can check out, we put some of the links up. We put up about a beautiful link about 2020, where we really got a very uplifting class from the JLE in London, which I've done work with. In fact, I was even alumni from there. I was one of the first places of Kiruv that I walked into, and we have to always have appreciation, like have appreciation for Chabad, appreciation for JLE, London, Aish in London, Aish UK, all those places, thank God, were the cornerstone of my beginning when I first started in London, in my search for truth, as well as coming here, obviously, and joining these yeshivas like Osamech and Aish here in Jerusalem. And then we have the pleasure to learn in the studio with Rav Shalom Arush and learn together. Emuna, we're going to have Rav Arush, please God, here, healthy and well. Don't take it for granted. This will be our 33rd class. Gal Einai, 33 is Gal. Gimel Lamed, it's the idea of Lag Ba'omer is the idea of Gal Einai, reveal this light. And that's a big inner aspect of these whole weeks that we're in, the Sefira. So how do we understand awesome? How do we get into that awesome unity? How do we bring it out? So one, it's manifesting, as I said in our guests, that we're having someone who's going to bring us a lot of awareness and with into universal concepts and unity in diversity, bringing down a lot of get a connection with other people and different personalities. Thank you again for your feedback. It means a lot to me, and I appreciate it a lot. So we're going to discuss that. Remember, when Yitzhak Avinu came into the world, that was a revelation of Pachad, of Yira, Pachad Yitzhak, of awareness. And Yerushalayim itself is the letters, is Yira Shalem. Is this a place of awareness, this place of complete awareness? That's the Yira. Yira is fear, but it also translates as awareness. And awesome is another way of explaining it. There's many ways of explaining the connection that we should have to our Borei Olam, to our Creator. This is the kind of energy that we want to live when we're serving God, and it should be done with simcha. There should be an awesomeness, and that's why people mistake the idea of fear to be something scary or connected to anxiety. There's nothing to do with that. Yitzhak Avinu was schok. He was schok la'asid. He was the laughter of the future. He was someone who was inspired and energized, and that's the Gili Barada that we talk about in Psalms, that you should rejoice in fear, you should tremble in fear, but with joy. It should be with joy. And Gili Barada is Gili is as an aspect, another way of explaining joy, and it's also, like we said, Gal, to reveal. This is very connected to revealing the inner aspects. This is the kind of energy that we're in this week, this whole week of Sefira. We're counting Sefirat HaOmer, the second week, and we're going to count it together all the way through Parsha Shmini, and it comes out, thank God, it's like an easy way to remember, with Pesach being on Sunday, and then we go on the second day each week. We're starting a new week, so we're going to go to Parsha Shmini. Parsha Shmini is already that taking us into that higher world after the 7 days of Pesach, and we hopefully kept all the halachas of not eating chametz, and we were able to eat matzah, and if you're not Jewish, you were able to connect to the feeling in the world of chayres and freedom that comes down that time of year, and the freedom of the Yetzer Hara, freedom of our evil inclination, and to just experience the kindness of just creation, the spring days, thank God, the awakening and revitalization of Emuna, of the Chag of Emuna. That's this whole week that we had, and then comes the 8th day after Pesach, and we have the Mila Shel Yitzchak, that's the Bris Mila, and we have after that comes the light of Yitzhak, reveal the light of Yitzhak Avinu, which is today the very intense light that comes into the world to remind us of this world la'asid, this world of the future, the Shmini. And that's when we're able to now take the chametz and we're able to now eat it. We can take this thing that we were so scared about, and we make our first challah of the year. It's called the Shlichel Color, the key challah. You guys must have heard about it. Beautiful concept. And we take that challah and we thank God we do the mitzvah, what cholah is, of taking the lechem with our 10 fingers, and we take out that cholah, that part that needs to be then given to the Kohen. But in our generation, we either burn it or put it in a double wrap and put it in the garbage, or rubbish, as we say in England. So we put that away, and that's the opportunity to then go take those cholas, those freshly baked cholas, and bring them to a wonderful Shabbos Suda that we have, Parsha Shmini, as we enter into that world of eating with the right way. Because the whole concept of Shmini, if you look, it's all about kashrus and the Kohanim on the 8th day, a very holy day. And then the idea of how we eat should be to elevate this world, not to be pulled down by this world. And that was something which already we had a 7-day connection, like a vaccination in a way, to the Yetzer Hara. By refraining from chametz, we're now clean and cured, hopefully, from the evil inclination. So we can now eat the chametz in the right way. We can eat the lechem and make a bracha and elevate it. Hamotzi lechem in haaretz, and lift out from the haaretz the lechem. And the lechem is 3 times Shem Havaya, which is 26, and times 3, which is the concept of elevating this world with the name of God, and using that connection to our Creator to pick up all the physical aspects of creation. That's the kind of awe that Yitzhak, the awesomeness that Yitzhak Avinu brought into this world, and that's the preparation that we have to come more unified. That when we start to understand that everything has a spark of holiness within it, that the Sefirat HaOmer was just a small little offering, it was a very small minchas omer, it was a very small amount of flour, and it was a very specific kind of korban that was a sacrifice that was very special. And it was able to knock out all the negative energy from our enemies like Haman, who wanted to destroy us all. The small little mitzvah was able to do such powerful things, and that's a very important lesson in itself. That just by the little things we do, by the way we sanctify ourselves, we wash our hands before we eat bread, and when we go to a Suda on Shabbos, or we go to a Suda on the Shabbat, however you want to call it, or we have a time we host someone like Jodeci. He came to my house. It was during Pesach, Chol HaMoed. He came in the night, and we were singing, and we were learning, and we were talking about how we have an opportunity for all these special kind of people to now become speakers. That's something I'm excited to announce personally, that Jodeci Joseph will be another person part of my Unity bookings, where you guys can reach out. I always put in below all the details, and we thank God have new blogs there, and opportunity to hear our relationship podcast. If you look at the details below, we have a lot of positive things, and we can hear more about Jodeci, please God, when we do our class on Sunday, and there'll be links there, and the opportunity to book these talented people as speakers that we were able to motivate and generate a lot of good energy, a lot of awesomeness in the world, a lot of positivity, like these positive podcasts out there, the awesome podcasts. We need to have a lot of that kind of content, that we shouldn't be focused too much on all the negativity that's going on, but we do have to be real. That, for example, say you take someone like Candace Owens and this, it's funny to mention, this singer, Tom McDonald. You take these kind of guys, people out there exposing all the lies of the world that's going on a global level, that all the feeling there's such a, God forbid, such a negative focus on the media and how people are being guided politically, and it's not something which I'm going to comment on as taking sides or in any way or form, but just to know that whole voice and that battle's going on out there for the culture wars, they call it, whatever they call it. The point is that for us over here in our Emuna class, we want to focus in on how there's an awesomeness and awareness of God, and that brings us to unity, that we're not getting divisive, we're not going off into the battlefield of, thank God there are those other people out there who are dealing with some of the brainwashing that's going on in a negative way. We're going to try, hopefully, over here, clean our hearts and soul and be more soulful. I heard from Rabbi Y.Y. Jacobson interviewed a famous lawyer, Alan Dershowitz, Dr. Alan Dershowitz. Very interesting interview. And one of the points he said there that really inspired me, he said to the Chabadnik who went to Harvard University to open up the first Chabad house on the university campus, which me personally, being in university over 20-something years ago, I gained from having a Chabad house there very much. It was part of my journey to get to Israel. I was in Brighton and on the beach there, and I was enjoying living in such a uplifting environment on the beach, and thank God I wasn't in the campus where all the crazy stuff was going on. And would you believe it, the place I chose to be was right next to the only Chabad rabbi and miles around. So what did the Chabad rabbi do in Harvard? The first one, he was told by Alan Dershowitz, if you want my support, you have to not focus over here on the intellects like they do in Harvard, but you need to focus on the heart, on the soul of the people. What an amazing advice he gave. That's a very true thing, a true requirement. We have to focus on the heart and the soul level. That's the kind of focus we're going to have, please God, in our classes. There's enough intellectualism and enough, people dealing with those kind of content. So it's very important that you know what I'm about is to focus on the inner realms. The Sefirat HaOmer is the inner true reality of divine emanations that comes through every human being, that every Adam is made, B'Tselem Elokim is made in the divine image. To focus on that kind of content, that kind of energy and drive. Obviously, we have to be real, that things are not easy, There's been a challenging year, the Corona challenge of 2020, and thank God, like I said, we have people like Joseph, who's come to Eretz Yisrael even during such a challenging year, and he spoke a lot of beautiful videos at content that dealt with that challenging year. You can check it out. And thank God, Nissan Black, he finally made it out of the country, made it to Cancun, Mexico. It wasn't like the full bookings we're used to on a Pesach, but he was able to be there and inspire with Gad Elbaz and other friends of ours, and it was apparently very inspiring experience over there. And that's the idea, that there is some opening up right now, that we are hopefully going out of this crisis or challenge, I'd prefer to call it. It's very, very blessed, like for me personally, living in Jerusalem, and that's something which someone reached out where they'd like to bring Rav Elgod to South Africa, and Rav Arush obviously would like to bring him to New York, other places, but it's very blessed that we're able to do that here right now and have these Emuna classes in the studio, and a whole year of these Emuna classes deserve thanks. It deserves thanks, and that's part of what we were saying. Like there's so much opportunity for gratitude and appreciation, and that, remember that by focusing in on the soul level, by focusing on the level of appreciation, of appreciating people, all the good that people do, not what they don't do. There's so much like good content out there. I was just listening to Lewis Howard, Jordan Peterson today, and there's so much good, positive content out there about marriage and how to stay married and to appreciate each other and have that kind of mindset that in itself will lead to a growth in unity, not a focus on all the division. You have to be aware of some of the crazy stuff going on, but not, God forbid, to get pulled into the arguments and online, to waste your time with these like long threads that go on Facebook or on Twitter or whatever they call it, to really allow yourself to be in a positive place. And how you experience online, there's opportunity for you to share a lot of positive content, even during Sefirat HaOmer, where we're not going to be having music, because why is there this availus on some level of mourning? Why? Because it says by Rabbi Akiva, we weren't honoring each other. There wasn't that the kind of right honor that we were giving to each other that was needed for us to go through this time in a revealed level where there's only joy and we could have music and song. We had to restrict that a little bit because we weren't on that level, and it seems like we're still not on that level yet, where we're really honoring each other and being able to bring out the best from the people around you. And that was even at the time Rabbi Akiva with his cloud God of the Torah, of his great rule of the Torah, of loving your fellow like yourself. That understanding of Rabbi Akiva, even though he had 24,000 students, they somehow on some level, not that we understand completely, but they weren't able to honor each other, and they all passed away during this time, with 24,000 students. I mean, obviously there's deep reasons why that number, and it connects into the souls with go all the way back to the whole Ma'aseh of Zimri, the 24,000 souls who passed away during that story as well. And everything has tikkunim and fixing up, tikkun olam, this concept, very deep ideas. But for us, practically what it means, one, we're not going to be having any musicians in our Emuna class, and the focus of Emuna content, if you see me posting a little bit of music on a post, I mean, that's just the background. It's not, hopefully it's not, disturbing anybody from keeping the laws of Sefirat HaOmer. But the idea that we don't have weddings, I personally, thank God, just got my wedding pictures from my daughter's wedding, so I was very excited to share some. And if anyone's confused, it's not because we're making a wedding now, it's just that we're very excited to have those pictures. And thank God, it was a very inspiring, special moment. And that's the kind of preparation that when you make for a wedding, we should be making towards Kabbalah Torah, to Shavuos this year, which is only now 6 weeks away. which, if you think about it, time's moving quick. And that's why I said at the beginning of the class, you have to really grab each moment. And that's why we're hopefully in these classes, we're covering a lot of points. Now, once again, you guys are always welcome to reach out. Someone reached out in Spanish, which I'm unfortunately not able to translate. Bokatov from Oklahoma, that's very nice, thank you. And some other people reached out. There were some hearts and connections. We really appreciate it, and please God, we'll have the edited version up. Let's hope the team over here, there's just been a lot of adjustments going on. It's all good. Let's see. Shalom, gracias. Yes. My family actually go to Spain a lot, so I grew up saying gracias a lot as a kid. It was my yearly vacation spot, was in Marbella in Spain, would you believe? And so anyway, so now we're sitting here in Yerushalayim, and it's, it's a whole different vibe. The vacations are far and few between living here, because life is always a bit more intense in Israel. If people would visit here, they'll sense that it's it's a little bit more of an intense moment. I don't remember having 2 weeks vacation since I was a little kid, so that's all good. But the idea is that hopefully the Chagim that we have, the spiritual times like Pesach, gave us that renewal that we needed on a soul level. And also for me, a week off from work was really beautiful and appreciated. And if people reached out, I was able to get back to them, my spare few moments that I gave. But the main thing is, now we're here. You guys have to reach out. This is the time. These next 6-7 weeks, these next few months, let's reach out and build a beautiful class, a Emuna class. Like I said, we have Jodeci coming, but we also have opportunities for other Rabbonim. We'd like to have a guy called Judah from NCSY and Husk. We'd like him to come. Judah, I forgot his name for a second, but he's a very well-known person, and if he does come, we'll announce it. Rav Moshe Weinberger, please go, is coming in 2 weeks. And during these few weeks that we can't have music, we really want to bring in some Rabbonim, some rabbis, and inspire you guys. And hopefully we'll have the opportunity to get back to the music after Lag BaOmer. It's not so long away if you actually work it out. It's actually only 4 weeks away. So 4 weeks away from Sunday, we'll already be having a musician here. That's 4 classes away, so we could have Mendy Weinberg back again if you guys would like. We never got the full session from them, and there's other musicians who've definitely reached out and want to come back again, and new musicians. You guys got any ideas or contacts? I'm happy to do that. Open my heart up. Thank God I have all my Unity booking artists. We had Nuriel, and they're all available for booking now. Things are opening up. Please God, after Sefira, there'll be like BaOmer concerts and around Shavuos, and then before we have the 3 weeks, hopefully this year will be a 3 weeks of Mashiach, so then we can rejoice then as well. But we have a lot of opportunities, everyone, to do a lot of positive things together. And I just ask you again that Sefirat HaOmer is a great time to grow together, that we all need Emuna. It's a mutual goal. And to remember that unity and diversity, we have all kinds of special people that we can connect with online. I love the fact that our general population is very diverse from all different places in the world, of all different kinds of experiences. And that is a key, to have a good eye towards the deal with the different cultures and all the different personalities, and to really be kind to people and give to people and build together to people. I do apologize for any of the sounds outside. Like I said, there's a whole social media team out there discussing what they want to do with the studio and stuff. But anyway, it's all good. I want to round off our weekly class with just some inspiration that I got from Pesach. I got a lot of light. There was a lot of awe when we were eating the matzah Leil Seder. There was a lot of light throughout the week for spending time with loved ones and learning. Thank God, we had a lot of light from my Rebbe, the Tolner Rebbe, and from Arush's teachings, from his books, and also from all the wonderful things that I, thank God, I was surrounded by the Torahs from Likutei Halachos, from Rabbi Nachman, Rabbi Nosson, the beautiful Torahs there about Simcha, with eating and turning the matzah and bringing it to us to a higher level of Mochin Degadlus, of a higher way of thinking, to expanded consciousness. There's a lot of light coming down during Pesach. Now the key is, during these next weeks after that, is especially with Chodesh Iyar coming, which Chodesh Iyar is Ziv. It's an idea. It gets us like a reflection of what we got on Chodesh Nisan as we climax Nisan, hopefully with Mashiach Tzidkeinu. We climax it with a lot of joy. Yismuch HaShemayim Sagalai. It's a very positive month, this month that we're in, Chodesh Nisan. And we go into Chodesh Iyar, which is now about the whole month of Sefira, of working on ourselves and bringing that light into our vessels, into our attributes into our daily life, into our practical schedule, and we're going to go through each thing. So this week, I would say, let's focus on larger goals. Let's focus on our end of mind, what our mission statement is in this world. Remember that we have a larger purpose, and it's to be happy, awesome, to have an awesome life, not just a average life, not just a good life, not just a great life. I don't mean to steal your line, Mr. Soul Blinkhoff, but we have to live an awesome life, or Charlie Harari, to bring it into our daily life, this kind of with visualization and all these different tools that he uses over there, to be inspired, to bring it, the inspiration that we get in our Emuna, to bring it into practical life, into schedule. Like personally, I was up at 6 in the morning. I only went to sleep around 2 because I was busy with a son, and I was already up at 6 with my wife. We're already grinding, going jogging, and getting a post out there announcing Jodeci is now part of Unity Booking, and we were busy. Before I've even got to prayer, I'm already done a whole exercise and posting on the way, and then now I'm already davening and then here at work on time, and we're grinding straight after Pesach. We're already packed away our Passover stuff. Everything has to move now. There's no lying around taking it easy. We're like it says in the Torah that when we came out of Mitzrayim, we were Kama Zakati la Chesed Noarayich Avos Kol Asayich. We went out Lech Tekachra b'Midbar. We went out into the Midbar, in this seemingly desolate place, and we went with Hashem, our chosen, as a bride, and we went out with this chesed and noraich, this chesed of our rebirth, and that's the kind of energy that everyone should feel renewal, and take that energy, that new light of Pesach, and bring it into these weeks, into a journey together of growing in different levels, and to have more awareness. This would be the main focus today, of an awesomeness that brings us to unity, that doesn't take us away from other people, but brings us to see the good in everybody, as we spoke about, and bring out the Nakuda Tova, that little minchas Omer, that little offering that does such powerful things, and that little blessing we make every night. Just by counting, we already get to connect to a mitzvah, the divine will, a very high thing, just by doing a little thing like counting, or learning a little bit, saying the Shema, or whatever it is, watching one of our classes, sharing one of our classes, doing some tzedakah, partnering with Emuna as our future, and all our tours, please God. Any little thing that anyone does has tremendous power, and we shouldn't underestimate, and we believe in ourselves. That's something which we'll get, please God, from Jodeci. Tremendous self-belief that it took him through very dark moments of his journey and bring him into a person who now can inspire. That's the kind of energy we want to share with Arush. Please God, we'll be here again on Sunday, 8:30 Israel time, and again next week around this time, 3 p.m. Monday, for our weekly Emuna class. And I'm here for you guys. You can reach out. All the links are below. Connect in, share on, live an awesome unified life, and I can't wait to see you all after a beautiful Shabbat, Pasha Shmini, with the challahs, the new challahs, a new beginning. It opens up new divine influx of blessing, of challah and shefa, like divine influence into your life, a new panasa. Everyone should have blessed with everything they need to be able to have new opportunities, to not allow the old stories hold them back, but to begin with a fresh mindset, with vision and goal and renewal and awesomeness, like our friends say. And we please God, I can't wait to share the good news together with all of us and keep hearing good news. And please God, to see the Emuna tour go global together. Amen. With Mashiach Sekenu, and we'll all come here in Yerushalayim. Amen. Thank you. Please share on. I really appreciate it.